Press.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Press God! Hold it! Alright, Russell, flex training system.
Press. Drive. Drive. Drive.
Man down. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. Today is Monday. It is the first training day of December, which is my birthday month. It's kind of crazy because I turned 30 the next couple of days, but with it being Monday, the first training day of the week, we are benching, and today called for a top single of 452 pounds, which is crazy to say. If you guys know my journey throughout bench on my YouTube channel, just my different competitions, you know, it's been that lift for me that just cannot really budge unless my body weight has gone up. And with the previous events this year, it's forced me to just kind of like unpack my bench, strip it down to its rawest form, and then change technique and how I approached it. So, I mean, you guys have seen me add the belt along with the sink and press method, and that has had huge dividends for my bench press. I went benching 413 pounds on the platform a couple of months ago to now having training singles of 450 plus pounds. And for full transparency today, I wanted to actually come in and hit 474, and I thought that would be in the cards. And just to even have that thought process is ridiculous. Whenever I look at my previous peaks leading into meets, the main goal was just to knock down 418 pounds if possible during prep, and that would give me an idea of what I would have on meet day. I would probably have like 418 to 424 on a really, really good day, and I haven't benched 424 in a meet in a long ass time. So to have the thought process of coming in today and saying like, hey, if I feel really good, I think I have 474 for today's session. I had everything planned out. That wasn't the case, but it was still 452 pounds, just 205 kg. Once again, my last meet, I benched, I believe it was 187.5 kg, and it was pretty difficult. I remember getting off that platform and just kind of laughing at myself, and it's like, man, where's my bench gone? I think my all-time best in competition was 424, and we're bodying that like in the gym. And I know it's the gym, but just the confidence that I have and how my bench translates from the gym to the platform is crazy. So, man, I know a lot of people are asking, because I get a lot of DMs about this, how have I transformed my bench? And I think I've tried to document it as best as possible, but literally, it has been my technique change. It's been the belt, which reinforces me being tight. It's kind of getting my foot positioning in a way that allows me to get better leg drive, and then also just not fighting the bench as it drops down to my body and doing that seek and press method. Back then, I would fight to get that soft touch. And at that point, I'm wasting so much energy versus just allowing it to sink to my body, coming to a dead stop, remaining tight, and having that cue present with my belt, and then exploding back up. There's this guy that came down to the gym this past Saturday and was asking like, or he PR'd on bench. And I was like, bro, you're leaving so much off the tank, because I saw him fighting the bar coming into his body. As an ex-football player, all I'm imagining is just being explosive. It's almost like, you know, you're at that dead stop, come to the body, and coach is telling you, all right, go, or like, hut. So you press immediately, and you just kind of like be sudden. And I think a lot of times I take that suddenness out of my training because I try to look like a powerlifter, but like, what does that really mean? What does that really look like? But enough yapping. Once again, I'm super proud of my bench progress. Like, to be able to come in here and say like, yo, I want to hit 474, and it sucks because like, I think I could have did it last week, to be honest with you. I've been trying to be like a good lifter and staying on track for all the numbers I needed to hit, and I've been taking my ego out of training as much as possible. Sometimes it shows up, but like, that's my biggest fault, not having keeping my ego without training, or keeping my ego out of training. Because like, old me, I would have shot for that 474 last week. Like, when I go back and look at that 441, it just exploded off my chest. It was easy. And I was like, man, I could have got that for like a double, or like almost like 2.5 reps. And then coming today's session, like the 452 moved slower than the 441 last week, but like it was only 10 pounds heavier, and it's all good though. So let's drop the weight down. We have a 4x4. We have a 4x5. I think I'm gonna probably do like not 4. That's crazy. I think I'm gonna do 350 for all 4 sets. Re-emphasize like good pauses, good technique, all that kind of stuff, and just get to work. Okay, so we finished up doing bench. Really good session, honestly. I think the pauses were good. I'm gonna look at the reviews, and look at the footage and kind of figure it out, but damn, we're 8 weeks out from Sheffield, which is like the biggest meet that I've probably done in my career in regards to the amount of people are gonna be watching it. But before I start talking about being 8 weeks out and what I'm finna start doing, I wanna talk about the new GNX album that dropped by Kendrick Lamar. You know, I wanted to do like a full comprehensive review, but honestly, it's not that deep of a project for me to be going or dedicating one video just to be doing it. So I was like, let me just add it into a bench video or something like that. So let's go ahead and jump into Kendrick Lamar's newest album, GNX. So funny enough, this album dropped, I think, November 22nd. And I was in the gym working out. I had just finished up, I think, squatting or doing a quick bench session. And I'm not really on social media. I'm not on my phone when I work out. So I had no idea the album dropped. I finished on my workout, I get on my phone, I'm getting a bunch of DMs. People are like, yo man, Kendrick just dropped, what you think? What you think? I'm like, Kendrick just dropped what? So I start freaking out, cause like, I remember he dropped Euphoria when I finished up a squat session. And it was like that same moment, I looked at my phone, I'm like, okay, shit, he just dropped the album. At first I only saw the video cause there was like that 30-second teaser or like a minute teaser. And that teaser wasn't even on the album. But I saw the 30-second teaser, I'm like, okay, like, I guess he's gonna start gearing up for an album. So I'm like, hold on, let me check Spotify. So I checked Spotify, typed in his name, and there's a full-blown album on there. I was like, oh shit. So it was a bench session. After my bench session, I started really listening to it. I listened to the full album. Now, some of my thoughts, whenever I first looked at the initial album cover, I'm like, all right, it's him in front of a car. I had no idea what a GNX was. I found out later that it's a very rare car that's like popular in California, or used to be popular in California. And then I looked at the track list. I think it was 12 songs, about 45 minutes. To me, once I see something like that, I'm like, all right, this album's gonna be good as fuck. Because I know it's gonna be concise in some type of respect. So I started listening to it, and the first track, Whacked Out Murals. That shit was crazy. Now, I'm not gonna go through every single track on the album because, I mean, it doesn't really need it. But when I got to Whacked Out Murals, that was one of the standout tracks for me, which was the opening track. And the reason for that is because I'm a big fan of when Kendrick switched up his voice and does something different. Because to me, when he does that, he's trying to convey some type of emotion. And he's one of the few artists that does a really good job of showing you exactly how he feels in that moment when he's rapping it. So when you're hearing Whacked Out Murals, it's like, yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. That type of energy sent you niggas to Europe or some shit like that, right? I'm like, oh, he's pissed off. And he starts like going in, talked about how Wayne felt a certain type of way about him winning the Super Bowl. He talked about him feeling a certain type of way whenever Snoop posted tailor-made freestyle. So Whacked Out Murals, like I keep playing that and it's just like, you know, you never let nobody put no smut up on your name. So that was a good track. And the second track, Squabble Up, that was the track that was featured on the Not Like Us video. That's a really good track. A lot of people were talking about they're disappointed how that track ended up or turned out. I think it's really good. It's one of the tracks that I replay whenever I'm about to hit a big set. So the first two tracks were amazing to me. Now getting to the third track, Luther, I need to go on vacation, or I need to be laid up with like a baddie or something like that to really, you know, really digest that track and make me feel it. I'm not a big fan of Kendrick's slow songs, but I will say SZA sounded amazing on that track. I feel like SZA sounds her best with Kendrick because her enunciation and like my ability to actually hear what she's saying ramps up whenever she works with Kendrick. I think she did a great job on the Black Panther album. I think it was like All the Stars or something like that. You know, like. Anyways. I thought it was an okay track, but it's definitely one of the tracks that I skip. But I do like SZA and Kendrick working together because they always make amazing music. But once again, I need to like be able to sit down and enjoy that track at some later time, because when I enjoy Kendrick Lamar music, it's usually like the bangers that I like first, and then the retrospective songs that he makes, and then like last for me. I just don't really care to hear Kendrick on some like lovey, you know, shit. But it's a good song. If I had the world, if I could give you the world, then I make it multiply. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Man in the Garden is amazing. Man in the Garden is like one of those, like, I feel like we're listening to him, like kind of like what he talks to himself, like, I deserve it all. Basically saying like all the things that he's done, he deserves everything that's coming his way. And I feel like sometimes you need to tell yourself that, like, for me, I resonate with shit like that, because I tell myself that shit all the time whenever I'm feeling down about myself or anything like that nature. I'm like, damn, like, all this work, working hard every single day, I deserve it all, you know? Then moving on to, hey now, say now, I'm all over my bucks. Dun, 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 dun. I like that shit. That shit sounds good to me. But basically, like, it's just him stunting, him talking his shit. And we don't, I feel like coming off his last album, we kind of don't get that as much. So whenever Kendrick kind of sits down and starts popping his shit, we all listen and it sounds really good. Oh, that shit was heavy as fuck, goddamn. Do you guys do this thing where like you'll wait for the next song to play before you begin your set? I just want to see if they can play some fire. Also, like, sometimes I feel like the gym be playing my playlist. Okay. This ain't me. Now let's move on to the next two songs. I said I wasn't gonna review every single song, but here I am reviewing every single song. So next we have Reincarnated, which is probably, I would say, one of the, if not the most deep track on the album. Reincarnated is amazing. They have that Tupac sample. I feel like he's almost rapping like Tupac in a sense. And then on top of that, you have that like that Spanish like entry, right? It just sounds amazing. So basically he's talking about the perspective of like, I think either like Billy Withers or something like that, or Al Green or something. And then he's talking about from the perspective of like, he's been reincarnated, all for him to learn a lesson. And then at the end, on that last verse, he talks to God, and God is telling him like, you know, you're not as like, what is it? Like, you're not as, you're not going through the things that I'm telling you to go through. And he's like, yes, I am. And God is basically telling him like, hey, if this is what you actually want to do, then you need to lock in for real. I don't know, I'm fucking that up. I'm fucking that up, but what I'm trying to say is that he's talking to God, and God is telling him like, you're not as righteous as you think you are, and you think you're doing things for a certain type of reason, but I can see how you actually are. And he's like, all right, cool, like this next phase of my life, I'm gonna show you and by my good deeds, and not using my talents of being a superstar rapper for bad. He's trying to like be good. Then we get to TV Off. This is, damn, yeah, this is my favorite track. This is the one that gets the most play out of me. As you guys can see, like, I be working out. So, like, for me, TV Off, man, woo, man, just that, all I ever wanted was a black Grand National. Fuck being rational, give them what they asked for. Dun, dun, dun. It's not enough. So this sounds like not like us, but I saw a text thread between him and Mustard where, like, he literally asked for this beat like 2 days prior from the album drop. He's like, yo, I'm heading to the studio, send me some banger shit, right? He snapped on that. So the beat switch up in the middle is tough. Basically, like, he's just on some fly shit, bro. Like, that's probably my favorite song off the album and gets the most burn. But yeah, coming off that, you got Dodger Blue, another slower track. It's not bad. I just don't really go to it as much because, once again, like, I'm on some like grind type shit, so I'm not returning to a lot of these like slower songs. I'm gonna go through the last like maybe 4 or 5 tracks because, like, once again, it's not anything too deep. So I'm gonna point out the standout tracks. Okay, Peekaboo was cool. I like Peekaboo. I remember that was like the first song I made an edit to. Then after that, we have The Heart Part 6. I really like when Kendrick is super reflective, especially on his experience coming up.
So he's basically talking about like leading from when he first started doing music all the way to where he's at now. And he explains that TDE didn't work out because of him. And there's a lot of things I was learning throughout the track. I'm like, damn, like, I always kind of wanted that TDE album, but that was around the time where Kendrick was kind of hitting his stride, and they're kind of like dropping albums that were getting critically acclaimed. And I think Kendrick just saw a different vision for himself in the music industry and just ended up not doing the whole TDE route. Then from the Hard Part 6, we have GNX, which is another favorite track of mine. That shit goes hard. And then after that, we have Gloria. Let me make sure I'm not missing a track, but we have Gloria. And I had to listen to it a couple of times. I thought Gloria was about his girl, but I think it's actually about his pen and like the relationship he's had with his pen, having writer block, and how he is like tied very closely with his pen. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole album. So let me finish up doing these flies, and I'll give you guys a full idea of what I think of the album as a whole, everything like surrounding the album and so on. Okay, so I'm gonna close it out. Just my thoughts about the album overall. I think it was a really, really good album. It reminds me of Damn, where there's like not really a central theme to it. It just seems like he wanted to get some thoughts out before he drops the actual album. Because I don't think this is the album that we were kind of anticipating coming off the beef. We all know that he beefed with Kendrick and beef with Drake, and it's this huge, big thing. And like just listening to the album, I'm like, there's no way this is what was gonna come after the beef. I feel like this is something that he wanted to put out and just kind of get his shit off. And on top of that too, this is something I've wanted from him for a very long time. Whenever I heard Not Like Us, I was like, damn, now that I think about it, I haven't really heard Kendrick on a lot of like West Coast sounding beats. So I was like, bro, if you could give us an album that sounds kind of like it's from the West Coast or almost like paying homage to the West Coast, that'd be dope. And we got that. So now I think he fed kind of like the people that are like talking shit, he can't do this, he can't do that. And then now, going forward, I don't know at what point he's gonna probably drop the real album. And this almost kind of reminds me of like Untitled or Damn. And I think this is probably like maybe in rankings for his album, I have, for me personally, To Pimp a Butterfly is #1. Good Kid, Mad City. I'd say Good Kid, Mad City is probably #3 or 2. Damn is like 3. I'd say I feel comfortable putting this at maybe #4. And then we have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers at 5. And then Untitled is probably 6. And then that Black Panther album he has, it's like a little bit more up there, but that's not like an actual studio release from him specifically. But overall, I think it was a really good album. I think, I give it like an 8 out of 10. I've been replaying the fuck out of it the last, couple of weeks, and it's probably gonna continue until he drops something new. I'm not gonna get too much into the beef and all that kind of stuff, and Drake kind of like filing a petition, because that's just like a whole separate video and all that kind of stuff. But overall, the album was really good. I just can't wait for the real album to drop. That Super Bowl performance is gonna be crazy as fuck. Now getting into me being about 8 weeks out from Sheffield, it's about to get real. I mean, the last couple of months I've been grinding and just kind of like, setting things up for like this exact prep. So now it's time to lock the fuck in as if I haven't been locked in this whole time. And we're gonna get to work, man. We got about, 50 plus days to kind of get back on that platform and reestablish ourselves. And I'm excited, man. Bench is going up, squats feel good, deads are on the rise, so shit, that's pretty much it. But thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the album review. I used to do that a lot, but kind of took it out for a little bit. Now I feel more inspired to do it because new music's coming out that actually sounds good. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, if you like today's video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Get better today. I'm out. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, Volume 7 of my Power Building Program series is now live. So you guys can hit the link in my description box to shop right now. The winter arc starts now. Okay, peace.